where, so it cut out again, the ultimate wild camping spot where we could open this sliding side door, be sleeping with our heads at this end, and you wake up, and you've probably driven into the night so you can't quite remember where you are. Oh, and you look, there it is, it's sunrise over the beach. Wow, 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 wow. Really lovely, really nice size, and you can flip these round, you've got loads of additional space. Because if you couldn't do that, it's like a partition, it's like a wall, it kind of divides the space, but with them twisted round, the whole thing becomes even larger than it already is. And you can see what I'm doing here. I am standing up inside the camper van. Now watch this. I'm jumping and my head's not hitting the roof. I'm not a dwarf, I'm not a giant man, I'm just under 6 foot, but that right there is an absolute novelty. Because I don't know if you've ever lived in a camper before where you're hobbling around like this the whole time. Nobody wants to be that guy. You're going to get a crooked neck. If it's a long-term investment, you'll probably end up like Quasimodo. Not a good idea. So yeah, size. So we've got a really nice size. So look, we've got, just going to go for a walk down one of the many corridors. So wow, it's a really nice big home, and now you're in the driving quarters and you reverse back a little bit, so it's big, it's spacious. But if you're driving around and you are having a pootle somewhere like London, Bristol, one of the major cities, you're going to find parking is a bitch, and a vehicle any bigger, because if you even go a foot longer at the back, you're going to start needing 2 parking spaces. I can park up anywhere I like. It's big enough that you've got all the space you need, but small enough that you don't get hassled trying to do smaller roads where you're too wide for them, or trying to get a parking space where you're too long for them. Yeah, it's do you know what I mean? It's like that guy who's put on weight more and more and more, and suddenly he has to start buying 2 aeroplane tickets because his arse is so big he needs 2 seats. Yeah, I don't quite understand why it's like that, but kind of you can see the analogy. Any bigger, you're going to need 2 parking spaces. Let's move swiftly on. Pretend that never happened. So, yeah, I've talked to you about all the beautiful things that are. Let me show you a couple of the things that aren't. So we have this amazing freezer. Wow, sexy little monkey in there. And this is fantastic because it can run either off the battery, off the gas, or off mains electricity. But we haven't figured out how to get it started, but it's probably not a big job. Like, I really think it could be something as simple as a fuse. Like, we just haven't had any time. This whole summer we've been so rushed and just relentlessly moving forward that any of the problems with the van, like whatever it is, like even we have these beautiful lights, like I'll demonstrate now. Wait, it gets better. If you're feeling naughty, you know, got to be done. But we have these, and we haven't even had the time to put them up. So every day we hang them all around the van, and then when we need to drive, we have to take them all down again. We could have stapled those to the sides and the ceiling in about 5 minutes, just as an example of how busy we have been. And then in the back, you have this lovely shower room, which sadly, it's a sad sight to see, but right now it's a storage cupboard. But this big bad boy goes on the seats on the other side, just like the other one that's already out there. None of this is really needed. I'm throwing it. This is the kind of person I'm throwing in a free windbreak and the big old poles you need to erect it. No trip to an English beach is gonna be great unless you have that. I've also thrown in a couple of Wellington boots just in case.